Yo, what's up, everyone? Today, we're just going to continue the pre-production on what is becoming a UFO project, I think. So, just going to jump into that and probably keep trying to find some inspiration on what we can actually do. And then probably start building out kind of somewhat of a flow, so we can kind of figure out what kind of scenes we might need to create. Yeah, let's just start it up. Let's see. All right, so we're back in Milano, which, if you're on my stream last time, is what I usually use for just gathering ideas. Um, so let's just see what we got so far. Um, got kind of like a little found footage section, which I think might be nice. Probably in the beginning of the sequences. Some interesting maps, which might be cool to show different locations, probably. Some back engineering ideas, military type ideas. We got some macro stuff that we might have fun with. And then, yeah, just some environments that look nice, that might give us some good ideas. I'm thinking that we'll probably jump between Cinema 4D and Unreal Engine, most likely on this project. The last project, last little fun project I did, that wasn't a client project. I mainly just stuck in Cinema, so I think I want to jump around a little bit. So let's keep looking for some basic like ideas, and then we'll just start like kind of fleshing some things out a little bit. I'm gonna go back to Behance, I think. I don't know. What should we look up? Um, let's see. I think we got some interesting environment ideas. We don't need a whole lot of stuff because we don't want to make things convoluted in our heads. We just need kind of like a basic idea that can kind of get things flowing. So I don't want to get too much as far as like a mood board goes. But let's just run through the 3D art Behance and just see if anything we fall upon is interesting. And yeah, I guess just really go from there. I think our main thing that we need to do right now is kind of at least get a scene flow kind of down a little bit. So let's see what we can find just to get some inspiration flowing on the stream. It's kind of interesting. Hmm. You might want to have some space shots. That might be interesting. Hey, it's my project. Well, you can't even see it on here. Hey, that's me. It's pretty tight. Hmm. A shot like this. I like that perspective of being in kind of space capsule or whatever. That might be an interesting shot. Go ahead and save that. That's a cool shot. Kind of like this grain. It's interesting. Assets in my workflow or model a lot of projects. I don't know. It's kind of 50-50 maybe. I don't know. I try to do as much modeling as I can because I suck at it and I want to be better at it. But yeah, sometimes if I can find something as far as like something that will work decently that I can just modify, sometimes I'll do that too. It really just depends. For this project, I'll probably model most things, especially the UFO. Something specific I think I want for that. Um, yeah, if we do any like city shots that I need to be like actually like fully CG or something, I might use, some kit bashing potentially. Yeah, we'll see. Right. So I'm not go through. Oh, there it is. Cool. Uh, I don't know. Do I want to do space in Unreal, or do I want to probably just do Cinema 4D for the space shots? Probably. Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like once we get kind of some ideas for the space shots, we can start seeing what kind of structure we can get down. It's kind of cool. I like the way that shot's set up. No, the stars look kind of nice on this shot. Let's go ahead and save it. Save this one too, just because I like that composition. That's kind of cool. Dude. A nice shot. The way that looks. Simple. Hmm. Really digging this noisy shit, man. Yeah, I like that green. Might make some stuff pretty greeny. Okay. I don't know. I think let's just start thinking about the story a little bit. These where they need to go. Sure. All right. Let's think about. Um, all right. Let's think. Let's think. All right. Um, let's see. Let's see. So, how should we open this thing? I'm initially thinking like the found footage type of stuff first might be good. It's like grainy, black and white, creepy type of stuff. And then maybe go into some big establishing environment shots. I think might be good. So probably our first scenes will be green. Let's go contact D. Contact D. Yeah, I think. So do like found footage shots. Interesting stuff there, and then kind of go into this news article type of stuff too. And you can go like in and out of each. Go like found footage and kind of like match cuts to some like newspapers or something. Kind of shuffle around. Camera pans out, pans back in, that kind of type of stuff, and then we do another match cut into some more found footage. Kind of go that direction, I think. Okay. So our scene group A will be our intro to like UFO lore type shit. So then group B, we should probably shift to something more modern day, I would think. So maybe we can let me do this a different way. So we start footage. Down really. We transition out into our next section. Let's see. If we're doing a VO on this thing, then story should be found footage, UFO lore, going into modern day. So maybe we have kind of like a timeline, MoGraph section. And then let's see. I mean, we can like kind of speed things up too towards the end, so like the pacing is kind of like, kind of medium. We're like going through different like black and white shots, different newspaper shots. It's not super fast, but as it kind of like nears the end of this first section, it kind of like really like ramps up, and then it hits to a big shot of like space or the earth or something like that, and it feels very open and slow. We kind of have like a really interesting pacing, I think. Yeah, these pre-production idea streams might be a little boring. So I gotta go through a lot in my head, but at least you guys can kind of see it as it works itself out. Let's see. So we got found footage interlaced with newspaper, media shots. All this stuff is like 1950s, 60s era type found footagey stuff. Really grainy, super stylized, which would be good. Um, do some cool shots, kind of like this guy down here. I think might be nice. Obviously it won't be like actual found. Well, I don't know. Maybe we could like splice in. I don't know. I think I might want to keep this thing fully CG. So I think I want to use real footage. So we'll make our own. Make it look cool. Um, then we get to kind of like a timeline shot. Kind of follow that timeline forward through different kind of like eras or whatever. And as this thing is going, it's kind of like speeding up cuts. Boom, 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 boom. And then boom. Everything kind of quiets. We're just left with this ultra wide shot, like the pale blue dot Earth. And we're kind of tracking towards it. And we get some quick cuts, kind of like getting us closer and closer to the Earth. Eventually, the Earth fills up the entire screen and frame, similar to this guy, I think, and this guy. And we kind of see like a little, like, since we're so far away, the UFO kind of looks like a little guy. You kind of maybe see like a glint from like the sun coming off it or something, and it's kind of just like tracking across the screen kind of slowly. Might be tight. So we got boom, 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 boom. What next? We gotta think as, you know, in the realm of VO, because I really think we're gonna need some sort of VO on this thing if we want to like make it feel like a mini doc type of situation. So we're doing VO. Found footage section will be kind of like blah blah blah. We've experienced this in our past type of shit. Maybe call out some famous UFO contactee names like Betty Barney Hill type stuff. And then we start to see newspaper stuff, the VO kind of go through how it's expanded throughout kind of like the zeitgeist type of thing. And then timeline going forward will kind of just show the frequency of sightings probably ramping up. And I feel like this first section will probably be very short, like barely a minute, if that. Yeah. I think that could be dope. If we don't do VO, we might need to think of it more as in like a title sequence type of vibe. I don't know if it might feel I don't know. Because there's a lot of stuff going on. We could still have titles. Could still work. It just might be too reedy. And we want people to focus on the visuals mostly. Yeah. I'm still up in the air about VO. So once we get to this base establishing shot, uh, what do we need to see? What do we need to see? It's big, slower pace than when we started. What are we gonna say? What are we gonna show? Maybe this kind of vibe is like the phenomenon is still with us type of direction. So like maybe maybe we could do some big environment shots in this section, and we don't really see any UFOs maybe in this section. Maybe it's just kind of like just off frame type of situation. So maybe we're kind of like drone shot type of idea, kind of like this guy, kind of like just going over different environments, maybe like match cut the actual like camera position, like keep the camera position in like the same altitude and same speed, but we're just like hard cutting through different environments. And maybe as we're like hard cutting through different environments, we start to see kind of this shadow moving forward and kind of like darkening these kind of environments that we're like cutting through. So like the shadow will be continuously moving forward, and that will be like that, and the camera will look like it's all fluid in one shot almost, but these environments are just kind of like flipping from something foresty slash jungly or whatever, desert and all that shit. And as it's kind of like cycling through different biomes or whatever, camera's still moving forward, shadows still growing forward as the camera's moving forward too. So it's like it's kind of like creepy still, and it's interesting. I feel like it'd be pretty interesting to like the viewer's eye seeing like the different environments flip through, but you're kind of like you're getting a message kind of across that the phenomena UFO shit is kind of still affecting us almost. It's still like lingering over humanity type of thing. Like we can get kind of like messaging across just with visuals is a positive. So I think that might work. Let me write that down so I remember. see, keep camera at same altitude, forward over different biomes. Biomes flip. Let's change hard cuts. It's camera. Tracks forward. And fluid shot. Let's camera. Tracks forward. We see like an elliptical. Baseball elliptical. Change it, dude. Elliptical. I can't spell. Is that even what I'm trying to? I want an oval. I don't know. Just put fucking oval. That's why I'm an artist, I guess. Shadow slowly being the elements. Feeling T. Damn. How many things have I misspelled? Getting somewhere. All right. All right. So as I'm like going through these ideas, I want to always kind of like jump back to the beginning, roll through it in my head, feel the pacing, and some shots probably pop into my head that might be like interesting ideas. But I just want to make sure that as we're building this, it's not becoming stale or boring or just, you know what I mean? Like I want the pacing to feel fluid. It's got to be kind of like a song where got some fast parts, got some slow parts, got some heavy parts, got some light parts. It's just like keeps it interesting. Sometimes it's like a good idea to like listen to music of like any genre that you like. Because just like feeling the pacing of music can like really drive the pacing of visuals in your head. So like I like heavy shit like deathcore and shinty stuff and whatever, you know what I mean? So like even if I listen to that stuff and kind of visualize what I'm creating here, I can start to kind of like feel the groove of like the edit almost in my head and see the cuts and the pacing throughout and kind of the feeling through the different scenes. And if it's working, it's working. If it's not, then like go back and stuff around. See what other ideas you can come up with until it feels complete all the way to the end. Because if you get bored moving through the idea in your head, then there's no reason for anyone else to watch it. Let's see. Found footage space, big environment shots with the looming shadow. Where do we go from there? Looming shadow. It might be an interesting idea to keep that initial big environment shot, like maybe this initial environment shot's just like a one take, really. And as we're going forward, and it's flipping through these whatever, and this shadow's moving forward, covering. Maybe we can match cut, same camera angle to something interesting map wise. Do like a 3D kind of like look like this, which I really like, but it has some like 2D elements too, just like the roads and city names and stuff like that. And maybe we could even keep it blocky like this, where it's just like a cutout, because I like that look. This looks good, this little guy here. And if we keep that look, we can kind of like, okay, let's say the camera's like camera's moving forward, and it match cuts to the environment looking like a map thing, but we're still looking forward camera wise. Maybe like the camera's kind of going forward, this match cuts to a map type thing, and then the camera pans kind of like upward and starts to look down, like 90-degree down, and we kind of like land on basically the same angle that this guy's at here. And then the story could go from that looming shadow feel, and then we go through kind of like the present day sightings, and we're kind of like showing the different areas where those are happening right now. And we could even, keep this type of titly work under it too, of the location, maybe date of sighting or something like that. I don't know how many match cuts we need to do, but we could start just flipping through different ones, or we could maybe just pull out and we start to see, or maybe okay, hold on. So maybe we flip through like a few different ones where it's just kind of like changing, quick cuts, change, different locations, and then the camera starts to pan away, and we start to see like this big wall of different map blocks like this, and we kind of get the feeling of like fuck, there's a lot of sightings still. That could work. Let's get that down. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Locations. Damn, I need to check my spelling constantly. Alright, sweet. Okay. We got found footage shots, we got quick timeline, whoop. Quick cuts, or gets quicker as it goes through the found footage stuff. Boom. Go to fast shot, everything slows. Pale blue dot. Camera moving forward. Some quick cuts to jump us quicker toward the Earth. Earth ends up filling frame. We see kind of a little dot maybe of a UFO tracking across the clouds or something. Maybe we do kind of like a quick zoom in. Maybe we kind of like do an interesting little angle sweep with the camera. that kind of match cuts into the environment scenes, big shots. We're in the environment shots, cameras moving forward over the environments, interesting clouds, cool shit like that. And environments are changing, match cutting to different biomes. Camera just still stays moving forward. UFO shadow type things start slowly covering the entire environments. We go to a basically match cut to the environment, changing to the 3D map shot. Camera starts to tilt upward to look 90 degrees downward at the map block. Map block changes a couple times, showing different locations of current sightings as we're slowly pulling backward to then reveal a full wall of map blocks. And then what? We're getting somewhere here. I think this might be a good place to leave it right now, as I kind of like filter out through different things. And we can come back at it. So I think I'm going to end stream here. And we'll get back at it next Tuesday. I might do some stuff over the weekend maybe to flush this out a little further. And then kind of come at you guys with my further ideas. And then maybe we can get to actually building this thing a little bit quicker too. So yeah, thanks for showing up, whoever did. I appreciate it. Next Tuesday, we'll jump on it. And we'll see what happens. If you want to join me on Friday, I'll be doing music streams. So we'll do music production, which is my other thing that I like to do. So yeah, thanks for showing up, hanging out with me, doing something interesting and making something cool, I think. If you want to see all my work, go to mitchmyers.tv. That's where I put all my client work and fun projects too. Check that out.